Today we're going to make a sock it to me cake. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Okay, so the first thing I want you to know is that I got this recipe from my friend Dorothy. Her show is called Dorothy's Kitchen, and it's like D-A-T-H-Y-S Kitchen. I'll show you guys like in a clip here or a clip here somewhere. And she's a very good friend of mine. She's been my mentor for many years. She was my pastor for quite a few years, and I kind of set up with her own little YouTube show because she has her own cookbook. And I just wanted to give her a shout out today and to make this recipe from her site because she's been so good to me. So let me show you guys what we're going to need because I want to do it exactly the way she did it. In the future, we're going to do this cake again, but we're going to do it totally from scratch. But for today, we're going to be doing it the way Dorothy did it. So let me show you guys the ingredients. The first thing that we're going to start, because it's semi-homemade at her site, okay? We're going to start with a pack of vanilla cake mix. Any brand will do. I'm using Betty Crocker because I just happen to like that brand. But any brand will do. This is a third cup of cooking oil, a third cup of water, half a cup of sugar, a full cup of sour cream, 4 eggs. That's for the batter part of the cake, okay? That's for the cake. Back here, what I have is some pecans, and these are chopped up, and I just got a big old bag of the pecans, and I just kind of cut it with my shears because when I was chopping them with the knife, it was crumbling, and I don't want it to be crumbled, all right? And then this is 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. That's going to be the filling for the sock it to me cake. Now, I never knew what a sock it to me cake was until I went to Dorothy's site and I kind of looked around YouTube to find other recipes for it, and nobody has it from scratch. Everybody starts with a pack of vanilla cake mix. And so I think the thing that makes the sock it to me cake different than other cakes is that it has this layer of filling in the middle of the cake before it's baked, not after it's baked. And I think the bottom is kind of crunchy, and on the top we're going to have a glaze. We're going to address the glaze a little bit later. So let's get started with making the cake. So it never fails. You know, I come home early from work and I really want to do this cake today because I'm going to go to my friend Leah's later for her Bible study, and I'd like to share the cake there rather than have it here for us to eat. And my next door neighbor decides that he wants to cut down this big tree in his backyard, and he's making a whole lot of noise. Man, I was so mad, so I'm running in the kitchen doing it as fast as I can when he shut off the saw just now to go pick up his grandkids from school. So let's get started, you guys. The first thing that you're going to need is a bundt cake pan, and I've greased and floured it. And you know I use butter to grease it, and I just put some flour, okay? And you can use some of the cake mix if you wanted to do that, but I just did it my way. I don't use Pam. I don't try to spray anything from a can if I don't have to. So we're going to need this right here, our little hand mix saw. We're going to need this, and you could use your KitchenAid if you have one. It's not going to be easy for you to stir it with just with a spoon, but if you had to, I suppose you could do it. And by the way, guys, did you guys notice that my Sweet Joe, look at this, you see my logo on the bowl? At the beginning when I had the opening, everything has my logo because my Sweet Joe went ahead. You know, we silk screen plastic bottles for a living, and he just figured out a way to start silk screening everything around the house with my logo. And I'm going to try to put a package together to do like a giveaway or something with these things pretty soon, okay? So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is move some stuff out of the way. Get my bowl and put the cake mix. And in future, we'll figure out how to do this from scratch. I promise you guys. Put the cooking oil and the water. See, even this one has my little logo. Joe is so inventive lately. The sugar. And then remember that the cinnamon and the brown sugar is not for the cake part. We're using sour cream. I think this cake is going to taste good because I like cakes that are made with sour cream. And an update too on Jada's book. It's almost finished. I finally put it into the publishing side of the program because I was working in the data entry side. So I finally put it in the publishing side, and I'm editing it there in there, and it's looking good, okay? I want to put the eggs. So, like, this is one of these dump type things, right? We just dumped everything in, and now all I'm going to do is put on my little cake mixer and my hand mixer. I call it cake mixer, but you guys know it's a hand mixer, right? Put on my hand mixer, and we're going to mix this up for like 3 to 4 minutes until it's well blended. Okay guys, so that took about 3 minutes. Now let me move my dirty bowls out the way. See what I was telling you guys? I'm such a show off. Showed you guys my logo. I'm so tickled about that because that was so sweet of Joe to do that. So there's my bundt cake pan. And before I pour it in there, I want you guys to see something. When you're doing any kind of batter, you want to go up with your spatula right in the corners to make sure that there's no dry ingredients left off to the side, okay? So this is really simple. It smells really good. This is like a French vanilla flavor too. And I want you guys to see something else too. See? Look how thick this batter is. Look. It's a really, really thick batter. And when we do it in the future, when we do it from scratch, we're going to have to make sure that this batter is thick like this. Okay? We can't do a thin one. And by the way, the oven has been preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And basically, we're going to bake it for about 45 minutes according to Dorothy's instruction. And then it should be done. So let's go ahead and pour it out. And today is a very cold day in Southern California, so I'm glad to have the oven preheating. Usually I don't preheat until I'm done with all this, but I'm so glad to have the oven preheated because it's cold. It's cold. I'm sure it's not as cold as other states, guys. Let me not even get carried away. So here we go. You know how we do this, right? Just kind of move the pan and go around with the batter. Oh, by the way, we're only going to pour out about 2/3 of our batter. Anywhere from half to 2/3 of the batter, okay? So I only have a little bit left in the bowl, if you can see right here. So this is what we need. This is what we're going to do next. We're going to make the filling that will go on top of this, okay? Take a look, guys. You like my little festive shirt? This is no problem. That's the motto of Belizeans. No problem, man. Well, you know, Jamaicans tend to say mon a lot, like M-O-N. But Belizeans tend to say main, like M-E-I-N. No problem, main. So that's your Belize word of the day, okay? So take a look here. See? Told you guys Joe was being so industrious. Look at my logo on this cutting board. You think you guys would want a cutting board like this? This is an awesome cutting board and he just put my little logo on it. Would you guys like something like that? You put something in the comment to let me know if you'd be interested in something like that, okay? So here I have my chopped up pecans, and all we're going to do now is get a big bowl to put the pecans and the other ingredients in for the filling. So here we go. Just put the pecans. I think I'm going to love this cake. I've never tasted it before. I've always heard about it in America. It's more like a soul food type thing. I've never tasted it before, but I think I'm going to like it. When I heard the name socket to me, I thought the cake would be more dense because it sounds like they're about socket to you. But actually, it's a very light looking cake. So it's a lot of cinnamon, but it's a big cake. So the cinnamon will go. And it's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. All I'm going to do is go ahead and just kind of stir it up together like this. So we could break up the brown sugar. And, well, we don't have to break up the cinnamon because it's like really powder. Well, so just so we could coat the pecans really, really well, okay? And then when I come back, we'll be adding it to the cake. Okay, so time to add the filling for the socket to me cake. And all I'm using is my hand. We're going to go around and just kind of drop it just like that. I suppose you could get the pecans smaller if you want, but I don't want it crumbly. I want to bite chunks of pecans in my cake. So this bag turned out to be a really good amount. This is all it is. Put the filling. And no, that I want. No, yeah, I can use the whole thing. And now all I'm going to do next is go ahead and add the rest of the batter. And Dorothy used 2/3 at first. I've seen some people use half when I was investigating. So, but I think I use a little like right about 2/3 like Dorothy did. See how thick this beautiful batter is? So I just want to go around, put the batter in, cover up the filling, make sure it's enough. Alright guys, so take a look. I have my pan ready right here. And my oven is ready, and we're going to bake it for 45 minutes on 375, and then we're going to check it with a toothpick, of course. And whenever anybody tells you about baking any kind of batter or cake or anything like that, and they give you a degree and a time, always check it with that toothpick. If it comes out with batter on it, it's not done, okay? It's as simple as that. Don't worry about this, my oven hot or light or whatever. Just go ahead and do that little skewer or toothpick test, and you'll be fine. So as the cake is baking, oh, by the way, it smells pretty awesome in here, guys, and it's warm. The oven has warmed up the house. So as the cake is baking, we're going to do the glaze. Now, when Dorothy did her glaze, she just used egg whites and she kind of whip them with the hand mixer until they foamed up and then add some icing sugar. I do have an icing or a frosting at the side already that's like that, but we as Belizeans will use lemon juice in there to kind of cut the taste of the egg whites. I don't want to put the lemon in there because I think it'll change the cake, change the taste of the cake. Come on, people. My neighbor's back with his saw. So anyways, I think it's going to change the taste of the cake. So I'm just going to use icing sugar and milk and some vanilla extract to make the glaze that I want to make, okay? So that's the only thing different. You guys be sure to go check out Dorothy's site. I'm going to put it up again. It's Dorothy's Kitchen. And it's named kind of funny because she said when she was younger, her mom used to call her Dorothy. Dorothy, you know how people give you nicknames. Like my nickname is Babs. So in Belize it's Bobs. B-A-B-S, Bobs. So here I have my confectioner or powder or icing sugar, and I'm going to put, by the way, it's 2 cups of the confectioner sugar. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of just regular milk from the fridge, and we're going to blend. Let's turn it on. Okay, so that's not enough milk, so I'm adding another 2 tablespoons. I'm just kind of winging it here to make this glaze, alright? We just want it watery enough to be a glaze, alright? Alright guys, take a look at it now. Doesn't that look pretty watery and glazy? Looks pretty good, right? So that's all it was. 2 cups of confectioner sugar and 4 tablespoons of milk and a little bit of vanilla extract. All I did was just pour a little bit in the cap. And that's all it is for our glaze. And we're going to wait for our cake to be completely cool before we glaze it. I just did it early to set it aside. So I'll be back when the cake is finished baking. We'll take it out of the pan, put it on the cooling rack before we start glazing, alright? So I'll see you guys in a little while. So here's the cake cooling on the wire rack. It only went for 45 minutes and now it's cooling. And I want it to get completely cool before I put the glaze. Alright guys, so it's about that time to glaze the cake. Take a look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? It's cooled down sufficiently. So I have my glaze. Take a look. And all I'm going to do is pour it on top of the cake. As simple as that. So let's pour. Isn't that gorgeous? And we want it to just like kind of run off. Okay, I'm drooling. I'm salivating at this. I love glaze. And let's get a piece out, all right? Yeah, right away that cooked through the nuts, so that's not a problem. Great. Let me move the cake out of the way. Show you guys the slice. Now, take a look. See all the nuts in here? Right in the middle? Isn't that cool? So take a look, see? Isn't that gorgeous? Look how light the cake is. Gorgeous! Let me come close to the camera lens and show you. I love the pecans in the middle. Whoever thought up this idea is a genius. Okay guys, so because my neighbor's cutting down that big tree, the dogs are just barking up a storm, so you might hear them today, okay? So first of all, I want to say thank you to my friend Dorothy for allowing me to use this recipe. Go check out her channel for me. I'm going to put a link in the description. She does soul food, and I'd really like to send some love her way because she's such a staunch supporter of mine. She and her daughter Lisa has been my supporters for over 11 years, and I really, really appreciate them. Shout out to you guys. Anyways, let's get back to the cake. This cake really tasted good. I've always heard about this cake and I never knew what it was all about, never tasted it, but I really like it because it has the nuts in between that was in the batter, and I like anything with nuts and cinnamon and brown sugar and stuff. That tastes so good. I always thought this cake was going to be dense, but it wasn't dense at all. It was really light. So as you guys know, we did it semi-homemade or semi-homemade because we started with a cake mix, but in the future, in the very near future, before Christmas for sure, we're going to go ahead and do it from scratch, and I'm probably going to have to call Dorothy to get that recipe. If not, we're going to figure it out ourselves because we can make a vanilla cake mix, right? Just a thick one. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you like the video, go ahead and hit like below for me. Share the video for me. It really helps. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but since Thanksgiving Day, I've reached 5,000 subscribers, which I hear is an awesome thing in YouTube. You know, I just plug away at my videos, and I just hope, you know, that I'm, you know, really teaching you guys some things, and I'm just really grateful to have all of you support me, and I don't take it lightly, all right? So I'm going to end by saying thank you for your time, because your time is very valuable. I know that it is, and sometimes my videos are kind of lengthy, and I really thank you guys for all the devotion. Some of you have called me since the Thanksgiving holiday to let me know that you made a lot of my recipes and that they were a big hit at your parties, and I felt like I was there with you. You know, I really did feel like I was there with you. When you make all this food and it's such a hit, I get so proud of you guys. So thanks again for watching, and until I see you guys again, take care. Don't forget to stop by my vlog. Right here on YouTube, it's called Babs Bear Talk. Please be sure to stop by my review channel right here on YouTube. It's called Bear Pantry Talk.